Good morning. I'm Deborah Barney and I work for Swanee River Regional Library, and today we're going to do another project with yarn and learning how to read a pattern just like last month. I hope some of you tried it. If not, maybe you'll try a hat because winter's coming and it makes a great Christmas gift. So I went online and I got several directions for making a hat, which would be great for the winter months. And I wanted to start another project where it was more, where you had to do extra stitches and learn extra things from the pattern. This is actually, the skill level is easy, so I picked that one. So that's the first thing you want to look at when you're learning. The other thing is the needle size, which is an H, and I have an H here that I looked and got this morning. So we're going to start, and these are the different stitches. There's a beginning stitch, a chain, a half double crochet, the pattern, round, single crochet, slip stitch, and stitches. So these are the things that you'll have to know to make this particular hat. And it does take 3 colors. You can do it all one color. It would make it easier for you. But because this one shows 3, I will try to do that. So we're going to start here, and I've got my paper so I can keep track of what row I'm in. And it says here that I'm going to chain 2 to begin each round, which will make it easier for you to know where the beginning and the end of a round is. And so right here with my first color, which I have picked purple, I am going to chain 4. I'm going to first make my knot, and I'm going to put my yarn over and just pull it through there and make it knot. And then I've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it says I'm going to slip stitch in the first chain. That means I'm just going to turn it around. I'm going to go in that very first one, and I'm going to pull the yarn through and make it into a circle. So there is a circle here. So that's to begin with. So then I am going to go to round 1, and I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then it says 2 half double crochets in 8 half double crochets in the ring. A half double crochet, I'm going to put my yarn around my needle, I'm going to go into this circle, I'm going to pull it through, and then I'm going to pull it through all 3 of them. That's 1. I'm going to do that again. There's 2 half double crochets, yarn over, put it into the circle, pull it through. That's 3. 4. This is starting at the crown of your head. 5. 6, 7, 8. So I did 8 half double crochets, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch at the top of the first one. And here's my chaining here. I'm just going to put it right in the top there. I'm just going to pull it through, and that is my first row, and that's going to be right at the crown of your head. Every row is different. Therefore, I got a piece of paper, and I'm going to write down that I did the first row so that you know exactly what you're supposed to do on the next one, because every row is going to change just a little bit until you get it wide enough, and then it's going to do the curve here for around your head. But right now we want it to fan out so that your head can go into it. So now we're at row 2. So I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then I want 2 half double crochets in each half double crochet all the way around, and that's what's going to make it lay flat. There's my first stitch right here. That's 1. And on every single stitch, I'm going to put 2. If you don't, it won't lay flat on the crown of your head. Here's my next stitch. I'll put my needle right through there, pull it through, put my yarn over, pull it through both of them. That's one. And there's my second one, if it wants to go through. And it even tells you how many you should have when you finish that row. There should be 16 in all. That was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now I have 16. So now it's going to lay flat, and then I want to join it at the top of those chain 2s that I did at the very beginning, and it'll close up my circle. So there's your second row, and we had 16 half double crochets, and that's row 2. So now I'm going to go to row 3, and I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to 2 half double crochets in the next half double crochet, and then just 1 in the next one. And it's got parentheses, which means you're going to do that 8 times. That same thing. In my first one, I'm going to do 2. You don't want to keep on doing 2 in each one, because then it won't lay flat. It'll just buckle because you got too many stitches. There's 2. Now just 1 in this one. 2 in the next one. One in this one, and you just repeat that all the way around. See, hats are pretty easy to make. And then 1 in this one. And then 2. And you just do the same thing all the way around. That's why I'm saying each row is just a little bit different so that it'll lay flat. 2 in this one. One, 2, back to my 1, and if it doesn't lay right, if your yarn's too thick for this size of needle, you can change the size of your needle. 1 in that one, 2 in that one, and because it ends with 2 half double crochets and then 1, you should always end with that 1, and that would be the end of that row. So whichever one is the last one in that parenthesis is what you should end with, and there's my 1. Now I'm just going to connect it with that chain and slip that right through there, and now I've got 3 rows done, and it's still laying flat. So I'm going to write my 3 here so I don't mix up, because the 4th row is going to put chain 2, 2 half double crochets, and then 1 in the next 2. So every 3rd stitch is going to have 2 in it, and the next 2 are going to have just 1. And you should end up with 32 half double crochets. So I'm going to start again with chain 2. I'm going to do 2 in this first one, and then I'm going to do 1, and then 1, and then 2, and I'm going to do that all the way around, and I have to end with the 1 in both, and 2 of them is going to be the end of my row. These rows go fast at first because it's such a small area. And I want to get down to here where we change colors, so you know how to change colors. I'm to 2. another 1, and then a 2, 1, 1, then 2. Each row is taking a little bit longer. And back to 2. Pretty soon you won't be adding anymore, you'll just be doing the same stitches over and over because it has to curve up over your head. This is just the wide part of your crown that you have to have it flat. 2 in there, 1. If I'm going too fast for you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to that change in color. 2. I think we're going to work out perfectly. We got 1, and then 1 more, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain. So that is row 4, and it's still pretty flat. So we're going to write my 4 down here, and then it's going to change again because you're going to chain 2, 2 half double crochets, and then 3 stitches with just 1 in it, and you're going to end up with 4 half double crochets. And we only have a couple more rows and we'll switch colors. I'm going to switch it to white and show you how that's done. So there's my chain 2, and then I have 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then 3 singles. 1, 2, 3, and then another double. Half double crochet. Remember, you don't work them, you just put your yarn over, pull it through all 3 loops. That's 1, 2, 3, and then I have my double. My yarn doesn't want to unroll. 1, 2, 3, back to a double. I'm hoping that you guys get a needle and you try to make a hat. And if you want the pattern, I'd be glad to run it off for you. I can make a copy. Or you can just go online, and there's all kinds of hats that you can get the patterns for, and they're all free. I'm back to my double one. 1, 2, 3. Open, yep. Now 3. They have kids sizes and adult sizes. That's 3. And you can get fancy yarn that's fuzzy. You can get the really soft yarn. And then 3 singles. 1, and that's how it always should end. 2. Exactly, 3, and then we're going to catch it with the top of that chain and just pull the yarn through. So that's 5 rows. So this one, you chain 2, 2 half double crochets in the first one, and then 4 single ones. And we only have a couple of more, and then we won't be adding any more. There's 1, 2, and then how many? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to get to the second color and where you stop adding on, and then we can go to something else. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my double. And then 4 again. 2, 3, 4. One, 2 in that stitch, and now another 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. My double one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now double. Half double crochets just make it a thicker and warmer hat. This one has to be a double. Wow, look at that. We're almost all the way around already. Goes fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my double. And then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to slip stitch it into the top of the chain, and then we're done with another row. Okay, so I'm going to put over here, I'm going to put number 6, so I know I'm on number 7. And on this one, oh look, chain 2, 1 half double crochet in each half double crochet. There's no more addition in stitches. So now it makes it easier. So you don't have to be counting or anything else. You just go around and do a half double crochet in everything. So the crown is done, and now it's going to start curving down over your head, and it will no longer be straight. You'll see it start pulling in. So just 1 half double crochet in every single one of them. And there should be 48. Well, I guess they are. This one's going to be 1 half double crochet. Then on the next one, they're going to add another stitch just to make sure it's wide enough for the head. So 1 half double crochet. And after the next one, we're going to change the color. So 1 all the way around. almost around there. Half double crochets. And sort of a pretty stitch. You can see it there and how it is. It's a nice little stitch and it's easy to do. Okay. They made this pattern a little different because usually once you start going around and not increasing, you don't go back to increasing, but on this pattern, they actually are going to go back to increasing one on the 8th row, and it's going to be chain 2 half double crochets in the next half double crochet, and then 1 in the next 5. So we're going to do that one, then we're going to change colors, and it's still increasing in 10, and that's the last one where they're actually increasing how many they're doing. So I'm going to 2 half double crochets in the first one, and then I'm going to do 1 in the next 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to do a double one. And then I have another 5. 2, 5. And then I got another double. 1, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, in that one. Then I have 5. So they have the crown in one color. You can pick whatever colors. They have the colors picked out right here, but you don't have to stick with that. You can do whatever you like. There's 3, 4, 5. 1, 2 in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're almost to the end of our row, and we are going to switch to white. There's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so right here I'm going to pull this through. I'm going to slip stitch, and now I want to change my color. So I finished this one with 2 half double crochets in the first one, and then 5 with just 1. And then it says to join your B color, which is whatever you choose. All I'm going to do is I'm going to knot it here, and I'm going to knot the 2 colors together. And you have to almost hold all 4 pieces or 3 pieces, because otherwise it'll just move away from your hat. You want it close to your hat. My fingers are not cooperating, but I'm just trying to make a knot and keep it close to the hat so I can switch colors. So there's my knot, and then I can cut my purple out of there. And after the hat's all done, you take a crochet hook and you'll just weave those colors in. But now I have white. I have switched to white. My purple's done. And so now I just keep on with my pattern. So I've done my 8th row and I switched my colors. Now my 9th row is pretty interesting because it says with B, which is my white. I want to do the same as row 7. So I go back up here to row 7 and I chain 2, and then it's 1 half double crochet in every half double crochet. There's no addition to stitches. Now I can put this yarn that I cut along here and try to weave it in as I crochet, and then I don't have to do it later. There's my chain 2, and if I catch those 2 and put it on top right there, it'll weave it right in when I'm working, and I don't have to try to do it afterwards. So I will do that till those stitches are gone. And I'm only doing 1 half double crochet in each one. So there's those 2 I just cut. I have them on top there, and it'll just weave it right in. And those, I'll show you in a minute when it's gone. Catch it on top, weave it in, and then I've only got my white left. And see, when you look over here, it's all worked into my work, and I don't have to pull it in later. So that's one of the easier ways to do it. So I'm going to half double crochet all the way around. I'm going to show you 2 more rows of this one and another one, and then from there I think you should be able to handle it. So I'm going to half double crochet here all the way around, just 1 stitch. I can leave that little tag there because I can just cut that off now because it's all woven in. I'll just cut that off later. It makes it easier that way than trying to pull it through later. Okay, so half double crochet all the way around. It'll get easier soon because there won't be any more counting, only 1 more row with counting. And then from there on the hat will just be the same form. So half double crochet, and you see you got your purple, and then it goes right into your white, which will make it really pretty. The other color I had chosen to finish it off is this beautiful color here, and that would have been my 3rd color, which I will finish later. But I did pick 3 colors, but you don't have to. You can do it all 1 color, different kind of yarn, anything that you like. There's variegated yarn. I made a hat last week with variegated, along with a scarf. So half double crochet all the way around. I don't have to add anything. It'll make it easy. no counting. And always with yarn, if you got a brand new roll of yarn, always pull it from the inside because it comes out easily. If you pull it from the outside, then you're having to flip your yarn all the time to get your yarn. So you always want to pull it from the center of your yarn. It's a lot less hassle. This yarn splits, so I'm having to make sure I get all the way through there. Okay. And Red Heart is really good, or there's another one that's even softer, and they're really nice to work with. They're easier yarn. You got So Soft. I love the So Soft. Almost all the way around. I'm going to show you on the next one we have to add stitches again. Look at that. We made it all the way around again. So just got one more stitch there, and we've got one more row gone. And what do we do at the last? We want to connect it with the chain 2 by a slip stitch. And I want to catch that stitch there and just pull it on through. So now we have our first row of white all done. So I'm going to put 9 here just to keep it so I know right where I'm at. Now row 10 is 2 half double crochets and then 6 singles. So we're widening it just a little bit more. We're going to start with my chain 2 and then 2 half double crochets in the next one and then 6 singles. So it's just adding a little bit more width, but not much. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to make sure you get both of those stitches. I just about made a mistake. And you want to catch both of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then my double. And you'll notice that when I go in, I go like that, and then I curve my hook down towards the hat so it goes through my stitch better. And I do the same thing when I'm pulling through there. I try to tuck it in there so that it is easier to pull through your stitch. That's 2. If you keep it like this, it'll just catch, so you want to tuck it in there. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then my double, getting prettier all the time, especially for those that love purple. 1, 2, 3. My yarn just does not want to come out real fast. 3, 4, 5, 6, and another 6 because that was my double. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Get some more of this yarn out here so I don't have to keep on pulling it. Now for my double. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a double. One, 2, 3, 4. Even I have to count each time. If not, you'll mess up. It's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to make a difference unless you miss a lot of them. Then your hat will be too tight. But that counting happens every row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. Well, put my needle back in there, restart that one. There's 5 and 6. And my row's almost done. This is my double. And then 6 singles, and I can slip stitch. And this yarn is not red heart, that's for sure. It's making it difficult. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 6. So now I'm going to join it. Almost up there. I'm going to join it. So that is row 10. And I wanted to get to the rest of this. I wanted to show you from now on, from row 11 to 22, all I do is half double crochet in every single one. But right here, it says on row 15, so once you get once you're going 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that row you want to change to your third color, and then you just keep on to 22. If you want your hat longer, where you can roll it up at the end, just add more rows, and you can have a little brim on there and just curl it up like this. And so you can do whatever you want. Now, if you want to try this pattern, just come in. I will make you a copy, and I will finish this hat so you can look at it. And I hope you try it. So I wanted to show you the end result of this hat. I finished it during the day so we could show you. I added a few extra touches by putting a tassel at the top. I kept track of the 22 rows, and then I just finished it off, and that's just by cutting the yarn and pulling it through. You'll see that it fits. You can actually make this longer where you can fold it up and make a little part around there if you want. And then for the tassel, I cut 2 perfectly round circles, and you need a hole in the middle. and I cut the 3 colors of yarn, and they were about, oh, just over a yard long. And then, I'm not going to cut it this one, but you take the 3 strands, and I cut like 9 of them so that I wouldn't have to roll it through there as often, but you just keep on rolling it through. I'm going to actually cut a piece of this so you can see me doing it, just a little piece, and you just keep doing it through this hole all the way around, and you need 2 pieces. And there's a reason for that, and you just keep going around and around, and the more pieces you cut, the less times you have to go around because you have multiple pieces. So right now I only have 3, but you just keep going round and round till you get to the end of that yarn. And I'm just going to do this real fast here to give you an idea, because I like my tassel on the top, and it's got all 3 colors, which makes it stand out. But it's very easy to do, and you want to make sure that your circles are totally round and that your part in the middle is totally in the center. If not, your different yarn will be all different lengths, and you'll have to trim it after the fact. But I am going to just do this short piece and show you how to finish it up. I'm almost to the end there. You need a good pair of scissors, which I did not bring the good pair because I had to borrow them from the front desk. And I'm going to need, and because this part is purple, I cut my piece to work with as purple. And then you just go through with a very good set of scissors, and you get your scissors between these 2 cardboards, and you just start cutting that yarn. And you have to keep your finger on it the whole time. I'm not going to be able to do it with these scissors unless I get it way in there, and I don't have enough yarn here, but it just gives you an idea, because you're going to cut them all the way if I work it through here. And that worked better. And then you take the purple and you want to put it between these 2 cardboards. And you put it all the way around. Now this is not going to look good because this is a last minute thing. But you put it all the way through and you yank it together, and then take your cardboard off. And then you would tie it. Now this looks pretty sick, but it gives you an idea. And see, you would tie that off, and that's how you make a tassel. And if it's uneven, you just trim those off. And see, there's a tiny tassel that would look cute. And you just knot it under there really, really tight. And then I just put it through my first rows and and tied it off. And that was that. So I want to thank you for watching. I hope you try it. If you need any help, just call the library, come on by with what you're making, and we'd be glad to help you. Just stand by and wait for more programs coming to you from our library. Thank you.